Welcome once again to another exciting video lesson. Now in today's video lesson, we're going to be studying the kidney, alright? We're going to be looking at the kidney from the basic things you need to know about the kidney. So the other areas of the kidney, alright? That's going to help us as biology students at any level, whether you are just starting off with biology, you are at the WAHEC level, the JAM level, the post-UTME level, the nursing level, you prepare for your nursing entrance examination, or better still, in your first year in the university and you are doing a biology course that has kidney. Alright, please stay tuned. This video is for you. Alright, now in today's video lesson, we're going to be looking at the kidney. Now, I brought out two diagrams to actually explain a lot about the kidney. Alright, now this first diagram is the longitudinal section of the kidney. Alright, longitudinal section. Then this is just a general overview of the excretory system in man. So overview of the excretory system. So these are what we have. Now let's dive into what the kidneys are and then explanation of these diagrams. Alright, so what are the basic facts we need to know about the kidney? Alright, now the basic facts we need to know about the kidney is that fact 1, the kidneys are at the organ level of organization. Now, there is a topic in biology that is called organization of life. Now, organization of life talks about the series of life or the sequence of life from the most simplest state to the most complex state. Alright? From the most simplest to the most complex. Now, the most simplest of life is the cell. The most complex is an organism. So we have it as cell, tissue, organ, system, organism. Right? So cell, tissue, organ, system, organism. So where does the kidney fall under? The kidney falls under what? The organ level. So please take note of that. The kidneys of man. If you see this in your exam, right? They ask you the kidneys of man is at what level of organization? What will you say? It is at the organ level of organization. So that is why the kidneys are referred to as organs. Alright? Or some of you know it as excretory organs. That's the word organs there. Okay. Now the reason they are called excretory organs is because of their function, their excretory role. Okay. Now another fact you need to know about the kidneys is that the kidneys are the excretory organs of nitrogenous waste. So now the organs that is involved in the removal of nitrogenous waste in the case of vertebrates like man, right? So not only man you have kidney for excretion, vertebrates, right? Vertebrates in general they uses kidneys for what? Excretion. But we're going to restrict our attention to man, right? That's what we are doing here. So now the kidneys are the excretory organs of nitrogenous waste. So in man, if you take man for example, we have different organs that play the role of excretion. For example, the skin. The skin is an excretory organ. The liver is an excretory organ. The lungs is an excretory organ. Even the kidneys, they are also excretory organs. So you have 4 of them. But it is only the kidney that is known to remove nitrogenous waste. The kidney is solely responsible for the removal of nitrogenous waste. Alright, for the removal of nitrogenous waste. So the kidney focuses more or remove large amounts of nitrogenous waste from the body. Exactly. So they are the ones that are solely involved in the removal of nitrogenous waste. In case you see a question Alright, which of the following organs excretes nitrogenous waste from the body? Alright, please take note. It is the kidneys. Alright, now another thing again about the kidney you need to know is that the kidneys, the kidneys, the kidneys regulate, or let's put it this way, the kidneys filters blood in the body. So another thing about the kidney is that the kidney is known to what? Filter blood, right? So the kidney basically is referred to as a filter, because what it does is that it purifies the blood. So take note, this is another area of possible question. They can ask you which of the following organs purifies the blood, or which of the following organs filters the blood. They can put it in any way, but I wanted to picture it like this. When we are talking about purification of the blood, cleansing of the blood, all right, removal of waste from the blood, because the blood has both things that are important and things that are harmful, right? It has both harmful substances and useful substances. Now, harmful substances like urea is transported, all right, through the blood. Then useful substances like glucose is also transported through the blood. So you see that the blood is like, the blood is a general medium. It carries both useful and unuseful substances. So the unuseful substances are filtered and removed from the useful substances by the kidney. So that is why the kidney function as a filter. So it removes the unwanted and send back the substances that are useful, right, back into the bloodstream. Okay, so that is why the kidney is referred to as a filter. Is that clear? All right. Now let us break down this diagram we are seeing in the board. Before then, I want you to know that the kidneys, please take note, the kidneys are located at the back or behind the abdominal wall. The kidneys are located at the back or behind the abdominal wall. That's where the kidneys are located. So, practically speaking, your kidneys are not forward like in the front part of your body. Your kidneys are located at your back, right? At your back. So take note of that. It's at your back. That's where you have your kidneys, not the front view. Rather, is at the back. All right. So, I haven't talked about this. Now, the kidney is a bean-shaped organ. The kidney is a bean-shaped organ. The kidney is a bean-shaped organ. Are you there? With a reddish brown color. Right? Kind of like a dark red. Yeah, let's use the word dark red. It's kind of like dark red. The kidney is bean-shaped, alright? With a reddish brown color. So if you look at the shape of the kidney, it's like beans. Now you will observe, you're gonna observe, so these two here, they are our kidneys. Alright, this is the kidneys. So in man, we have two kidneys. Right? There are two kidneys in man. Now if you observe this diagram, you see stuffs here. Alright? So now what are these stuffs called? They are simply called what? The adrenal gland. That is what we have. The adrenal gland. The adrenal gland is known to produce the famous adrenaline hormone. Alright? The adrenal gland is known to produce the famous adrenaline hormone. Is that clear? So this is what we have, right, for that. So I'm gradually labeling it so you follow. All right, then remember I talked about the fact that the kidneys filter blood, right? The kidney purifies the blood, or you can say the kidney is the purification organ of the blood, right? So what it does is that it purifies the blood, or it cleans the blood, or it filters the blood, right? Whichever way you want to put it, but don't have this concept in your mind that what tends to remove harmful substances produced by the cells of other organs and tissues, right, from the blood. That is the kidney. So that's what the kidney is known for mainly, right? So one other thing we can also talk about for the kidney is what are the blood vessels that takes blood to the kidney, and what are the blood vessels that removes blood from the kidney. Now please take note, the blood vessel that carries blood to the kidney is called the renal artery. right? So the renal artery carries blood to the kidney, while the renal vein removes blood from the kidney. So that is to say, I can remember I told you that the blood coming to the kidney for purification or for filtration, right? That blood consists of both useful and harmful substances, right? So we can therefore say that the renal artery that is bringing blood into the kidney is carrying harmful substances. So we can say blood transported by the renal artery to the kidneys blood that is impure, all right? But the blood leaving the kidney through the renal vein, they are more purified, all right, than the blood that is entering the kidney through the renal artery. Okay, then, so with what I explained, between the renal artery and the renal vein, which one is carrying a more cleaner blood? It is the renal vein. The renal vein carries blood that is clean, that is cleansed, I will use the word, a more purified blood. So this one is carrying a more purified blood that is free of harmful substances, right? Then the renal artery is carrying let me just use the word dirty blood, right? It's not as if the blood is dirty, but I use that term dirty blood to describe the level of to tell you that there are some things in the blood that is not needed to be there for too long, so they need to be removed. That's why I use the word dirty blood. Renal vein carries purified blood, while the renal artery carries a depurified blood. So the blood in the renal vein is cleaner than the blood that is being transported by the renal artery. Please, I hope this concept is properly understood. All right, now let's progress to the next phase of our lectures. So, with my explanation already on renal artery and renal vein, so we know what that is. So, the blood vessels that carries blood to the kidney is the renal artery. The blood vessels that remove blood from the kidney is the renal vein. Between the renal artery and the renal vein, which one carries a more cleaner or a more purified blood? It is the renal vein, right? So, now this guy is the renal artery. This guy is the renal vein. All right. Now, let's look at the longitudinal section of the kidney. Please take note. The side view or the longitudinal section of the kidney, all right, reveals that the kidney is divided into three parts. What are the three parts? Or you can say the kidney is divided into two main regions. Right, there are two main regions, but I just like to use three parts, right, or three regions. Okay, so the first region here is the cortex. The cortex. The second is the medulla, and finally we have the pelvis. Okay, finally we have what the pelvis. The cortex is the outer, inner. All right, and then we also have the pelvis. So when we are labeling this guy, this outer portion is called the cortex. All right, then this direction here is our medulla. This is not similar to the medulla oblongata. All right, it's just called medulla. That is the name for it. Now the medulla, please take note. The medulla projects inward to form some cone-shaped pyramid structure, right? The medulla projects inward to form cone-shaped pyramid structure. Now, this cone-shaped pyramid structure is simply referred to as pyramids, all right? Simply refers to as what? The pyramids, okay? So, which is this thing you are seeing here, the pyramids, all right? Then, for the pyramids, we have what? The pelvis. The pelvis around this region, but because of this, okay, let's do it like this. So have the pelvis, and then from the pelvis it leads us to the urethra. Are you seeing the trend? So first and foremost, after understanding that these two represent the renal artery and the renal vein, all right. Now the outer portion of the kidney is the cortex, okay, which is around this region here. You have the cortex. Then after the cortex, we get what the medulla. Now the medulla projects inward to form pyramids, cone-shaped pyramid. Okay, so these cone-shaped pyramids are simply called pyramids, all right. So we have this, then we have the pelvis, right? And then we have what? The ureter. Now I'm going to explain more about this cortex and other things like what is going on in the cortex region and all of that in my next biology video lessons where we are going to be discussing the nephron, all right? We're going to be looking at the nephron, okay? Then that is all for this guy. All right. Then immediately after the kidney, you get what? Your ureter. And also speaking about the nephron, please note, all right, very important, very important. Please note that the functional unit, the functional unit of the kidney is the nephron. Nephrons are also called urinary tubules. All right. So that's the um, functional unit of the kidney. So the basic functional unit. All right. You can say the functional unit or the basic functional unit of the kidney. That is what the nephron. All right. AKA the urinary tubules. So having established this, now let's come here. Now, if you look at this structure very, very well, if you look at it closely, you observe that this side is higher in position than this side, which is normal. Now, listen, the left kidney is slightly higher in position than the right kidney. All right, this is our left. Okay, this looks like my right because I'm facing the body. If I'm to turn like this, you observe that this becomes my right and this becomes what? My left. Are you getting it? So this is the left kidney. All right, this is the left kidney and this is what? The right kidney. All right, so you observe that the left kidney is slightly higher in position than the right kidney. That is the way it is. Now the adrenal glands are located at the top of each kidney. Please take note of that. The adrenal gland is located at the top of each kidneys. All right. Now, these things here, they are blood vessels. This one is the artery, or we can simply call it the aorta. All right. The aorta, which is another name for artery, but specifically talking about a larger artery. Okay, that's the aorta. While this other guy is called a vena cava. Vena cava. Now, the vena cava is talking about a vein, but this time around, it's talking about veins that are large, that's bigger than a normal vein. And we have two main vena cava. We have the superior vena cava and we have the posterior vena cava. Superior vena cava are veins that draws blood from the upper part of your body, while the posterior vena cava are veins that drains blood or draws blood from the lower part of your body. Now the kidney is located at least at the lower part of the body. Okay, so we have the kidney is located around the lower part of the body and it draws down. You can see it to this structure here, in which we are going to name very soon. All right, so this is the vena cava. So because this vena cava is below, right? So below the not at the upper part of your body, it's kind of it's at the lower part, right? Not really lower, but it's not at the superior, the upper part, it's at the lower part of your body. So hence we can name this guy the posterior vena cava. All right, posterior vena cava. Vena cava is still the same thing as vein. Aorta is still the same thing as an artery, does the same work as an artery. So remember, what's the work of artery? They bring blood to organs and tissues. What's the work of vein? They remove blood from organs and tissues. So that is what we have here. Now, this guy is our aorta. So this guy is basically called the renal artery. Renal artery. Alright, renal artery. Then this other guy too, this one here, is still the same thing, the renal artery. Then this is our vena cava veins. So this becomes the renal vein. This guy, the renal vein, and then this other guy here is the renal vein as well. ROV, renal vein. Are you seeing how we are pushing the label now? So what after the kidneys, you see this stuff here, this one going down, this particular one this way, which is similar to this. So this and this, they are the ureter. Okay, now what connects the kidney? All right, what connects the kidney to this, which is called the bladder, or we can simply say urinary bladder. So what connects the kidney to the urinary bladder is the ureter. So the kidneys, all right, form urine, all right. The kidneys form urine. Urine is produced in the kidneys. Let's take note of that. Urine is produced in the kidney. Now, what's the difference between urine and urea? We're to shift that in. What's the difference between urine and urea? What's the difference? And the difference is that urine is a mixture. Okay, let me break it down. Urine comprises of urea, water, sugar, so many other things mixed together. So collection of harmful substances or collection of excess substances, not just the ones that are harmful. You also excrete water from your body. So it's not because water is harmful, it's because it's in excess. Your body needs a certain level, all right, of water. And by the time we go to the functions of the kidney, you're going to see all of this there. Okay. So now urine comprises of harmful substances that needs to be removed and excess substances that also needs to be removed, right? But urea is just a single harmful compound to the body. So this is just a single compound that is harmful to the body. Why this is a mixture or collection of different harmful substances and substances that are in excess in the body, which they need to be excreted from the body, right? So and urea can be found in urine. So when you go to urinate, when you go to take a piss, so what actually happens is that you are excreting excess water from your body, some ions, and then even urea as well are being removed. So what connects the kidneys to the bladder is the ureter. Okay, so the bladder is where urine is temporarily stored. That's the bladder where urine is temporarily stored. Now start getting filled. By the time it gets filled up, all right, muscles in the urinary bladder tends to contract. All right, when you are holding urine, the muscles in the urinary bladder, which are actually smooth muscles, okay, they tend to contract. But when you are urinating, you don't have you ever seen anybody that is urinating and is forcing himself to urinate? It's not possible, right? When you are urinating, you have this relaxed sensation, you are relaxed, right? It's like probably when you have hold urine for long. So when you are now there's this kind of relaxed sensation you get. All right. So that is even normal on a normal day, though you don't hold your urine. All right. So when you are urinating, urination it has to do with the relaxation of the muscles in your urinary bladder. So it's relaxation of the urinary bladder muscles. All right. To get relaxed and you urinate. Then when it gets filled up and you refuse to urinate, the muscles are actually what contracted and it is bad. It is not good to hold urine for long. All right. It's not even good to hold urine. All right. So anytime you are being pressed to urinate, just get somewhere to urinate. All right. But if probably you cannot get anywhere to urinate, but please just make sure that holding urine for too long is not good. So just look for how to make sure you take it out. All right. Now this last structure we are seeing here, this is what is called the opening. Okay. Or let me label this guy. This one and this direction, this is called the urethra. And this opening here, this single opening here, is called the opening of the urethra. So what connects the kidney to the urinary bladder is the ureter. Ureter. Please take note. All right, the ureter. Then what connects the urinary bladder to the penis in man through which we excrete, we urinate. So what connects the urinary bladder to the penis, right, is the urethra. It's called urethra. All right, please take note. It is called urethra. So from kidneys to bladder, urethra. From bladder to the penis in man, urethra. Then the female, which did not have penis, they just have opening of the urethra. All right, opening of the urethra. So what connects in women now? What connects the urinary bladder to the outside world through which the urinate on? That's the outside world, outside the body. That is the urethra as well. All right. So the urethra in females is long and it opens outside the body. Okay, it's long and it does not run through any form of penis-like structure in man. It just runs through straight and opens outside the body. So where a female urinate from is just simply called the opening of the urethra. So this is one of the basic things we have. Then there is something unique about the urethra. What is that? Now, what is unique about the urethra is the fact that the urethra, the urethra is a urinogenital. The urethra is a urinogenital organ, or you can say the urethra is a urinogenital um, structure. Don't use the word, don't like to use the word organ, you can just call it urinogenital structure. Now, why is it referred to as a urinogenital? It's simply because it serves as a passage of both urine, it serves as a passage of both urine and semen. Now this is peculiar in man, alright? In man, you use your penis to urinate, you also use your penis to, pass to insert semen into a woman's body in order for her to get pregnant, right? So that is why it's called urinogenital organ. So, and also, it is also interesting to note that the urethra runs through the penis, right? It runs through the penis. So in the case of man, the urethra runs through the penis. So, and it allows for the passage of urine. That is why it's called urinal, and it also allows for the passage of semen, which is why it is called genital. So, urinogenital. Now, if you don't see semen, probably in the examination condition, you will see it as sperm. You can also see the word as sperm. So, passage, what serves as the passage of both urine and sperm, all right? It is the urethra, or you can put it this way: what serves as the passage of urine and semen to the urethra. This is the reason why it is referred to as a urinogenital organ. So this is everything basic, all right, and everything you need to know at this point about the kidney. But now we are in our next biology video lesson. We're going to talk about the basic functional unit of the kidney, which is the nephron, how urine is being produced, all right? The nephrons are not called urinary tubules for nothing, right? The reason why they are called urinary tubules because they are the ones that are actually involved in the formation of urine. Okay, it is a part of the kidney that actually forms the urine we excrete. So that is why it is called urinary tubule. Let's go into the functions of the kidney. Now this is the last aspect for this video, the functions of the kidney. Now, what are the functions of the kidney? Now, one of the primary functions of the kidney, like we already established, is excretion of harmful substances. All right, excretion of harmful substances like alcohol, drugs, etc. So this is one of the functions. So basically, one of the functions of the kidney is for what? Excretion. Then number two function, we have osmoregulation. Number two function is what? Osmoregulation. What is osmoregulation? Basically, osmoregulation simply means balance. Water balance. Alright, in the most basic form. So osmoregulation means that water, right, is the process that regulates the balancing of water in the body of an organism. That is osmoregulation. It is a process that regulates balancing of water in the body of an organism. Then another function of the kidney we also have is um, acid to base bracket pH balance. So another function of the kidney is that the kidney helps to maintain the pH of the blood, right? That's the acid to base balance. So it helps to keep the pH of the blood constant. And if you remember, right, what is the what is the expected pH for the blood, right? The expected value of the blood pH is 7.4. So this is the expected value, or I can rephrase and say pH 7.4 is the pH that is required by the body. So this is the pH level your body needs to survive. Right? So that is it. Then finally, we have osmotic pressure balance. So the kidney helps to balance the osmotic pressure, right? The osmotic pressure of the blood. That is what the kidney helps to do. So these four, one, two, three, four, these are the main functions of the kidneys. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please do it to like, share, and subscribe. Please don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in the next episode.